Hello, and welcome to Introduction to Provider Portal. This introduction will assist in answering questions that you may have and train you in areas that you may not have known. To begin today, you will open a browser to www.ccok.com. From there, you will select the green Login button. It is located in the upper right-hand section of the screen right beside the search option. Please select Login now. You have landed on the Select a Portal page. As you can see, we have multiple portals that we support. We have a member portal for current active enrolled members. We have an employer portal for our employers. We have broker resources for our brokers and our provider portal for our providers. Please select Provider Portal now. Well, you're almost there. Welcome to the Provider Connection. You are now at the login screen of the Provider Portal. Please enter your individual login ID as well as your password. If you do not have an individual login ID, please go back to www.ccok.com. Hover over the word Providers, go down to the Forms section, and when you click on Forms, the first form you should see is the CareWeb Security Form. Please complete that and send it to us so that we can get you your own individual user ID. Once you have entered your login ID and password, please click Submit. Once you have clicked Submit, you will land on our Statement of Confidentiality page. You have two options, I agree and I disagree. If you click on I agree, that will take you into the Provider Connection portal. If you click on I disagree, it will take you back to the main page to sign into the system again. So if you want to go further, please click I agree. This is our landing page for the Provider Portal. As you can see, there is an upper section in blue and a green section in the middle. All of those options are the same options with the exception of the homepage, but you're on the homepage. The arrow is pointing to My Profile, which is an area where you can update your email, update or change your phone numbers or extensions. There are resources which lists information such as the provider manual, documents and forms, formulary lists, and specialty pharmacy information. And then there is always a help button that can help assist you as well. The quick links that are circled in the middle, the member search is the same as member management. The status list is also the same as the control center. So there are three types or three ways that you can click into these options. So pick one of those three for member management and let's get started. Starting at the top, you will see a role type. There are three main roles that can be selected. There is an authorization, both a read access only or a write access, which means the write access will give you the options to actually enter an authorization for a member. The second option is for claims, and the third option is for eligibility. Today, I'm going to take an option of eligibility and we will proceed further. I selected the eligibility role as my role type. Then there is a provider panel. Your panel will be different than the panel shown here because I have an internal access role where you have a role set up based on your contract with Community Care. From there, you see an effective date, which will always default to today's date, and a search by function. The search by function, you can search by contract member, name, or social. If searching by name and social, please be aware that you will be required to enter a date of birth underneath. If you are looking in an authorization role, you will also have an authorization number search function. If you're in a claims role type, you will have a claim number search function. Then you will enter search information, which I have masked, but I have entered a member ID. Let's see where this will take us. From there, you can see when you open it up, you are on the member's screen with their details. You will see at the top, the member's name is listed individually. Then you will see the member's ID number, name, and date of birth, as well as their gender, address, and phone number. I'm going to spend a few moments talking about the eligibility span. The eligibility span has a current review type, a future review type, a history review type, and an all review type. If what you see does not contain the date of service that you are looking for, please click on the all search type so that you can see all eligibility spans for that member. You can see if a date of service you may have falls within the eligibility dates for that member so that you will know whether your claim will be payable or not. In this information, you will also see that there is a print eligibility screen. You can do that and it will open up a PDF. Make sure you do not have any pop-up blockers on or that will block that pop-up from opening. But you can print your own eligibility so that you'll have that for future reference. This will give you the member's effective dates, the group name, the group number. You will also see a selection that will give you a benefit package information. That is the members' benefits as detailed in their schedule of benefits, and you can view that information here. It will list the member's PCP as well as going down a few, you will see the group type, whether it's a large or a small group. For some services, such as vision, small groups do not have coverage for adult vision screenings, where large groups do. And you can see that because this is a large group, they last had their vision exam. There's nothing in history, so they would be eligible for a vision screening today. If you go over just a little bit to the right, you will see copays and deductible and out-of-pocket summaries. These are the basic copays that will be listed on the schedule of benefits that you could pull up. Additionally, if you clicked on the tab for deductible and out-of-pocket summary, you would see the deductible and out-of-pocket summary as of all claims processed at midnight the day before. So the system is very current in its information. Let's go on to the next page. In this case, I selected all eligibility, and you can see here this member had two eligibility spans, one from 5/7 of 24 to 6/30 of 24, and 7/1 to 3/31 of 26. What causes eligibility spans to change? In this case, we can see that the PCP for the first span was Dr. Jenny Alexopoulos, but the PCP for the second span was Dina Bowen. Therefore, the PCP change caused a new span of eligibility. Other things that can cause changes in spans are maybe someone transferred from one department to another in their company. That would cause a new span because it starts with the new group, the new division that they were in. Another thing could be that they changed plans altogether. Maybe they changed from an HMO to a PPO and it was their open enrollment, but it was in the middle of the year. There would be new spans for that as well. Understanding what causes these dates can help you in gaining information or insight into how the system works. Let's move on to the next section. Now we are actually going to look at a claims roll. We we took a back exit to go back to the member management screen. I've now selected the claims role with the provider panel that is appropriate, and I've listed that I want to search by contract, and I've entered the contract number. From there, you can see that the member has a list of claims. The member details would be just the same as it was on all the other previous pages. The columns that you have here are the claim number, the from date of service, and the to date of service, as well as whether the claim was approved or denied, and then what date it processed, as well as the provider who provided the service. If we want to take a little bit of a deeper dive, we're going to go into one of the claims. And from here, you can see information such as the procedure number, the procedure description, the from and to dates of service, the status of the claim. This claim is in a paid status, and it processed on 4/6 of 26. You can see the total charges, the allowed amount, not covered, penalty or sequestration. Please keep in mind the penalty is also where the sequestration is listed for Medicare members. That is a write-off that the provider must make and cannot bill the member for. The deductible amount, copay amount, coinsurance amount, and anything that community care paid. I'm going to stop briefly here and explain that CareWeb, although very useful, is not the source of truth when it comes to the actual payment. The actual payment system that we use is called ECHO, and we're going to now proceed to ECHO to see what this claim looked like in ECHO. So let's take a look. First of all, you can open a new Chrome browser and go to the following page, https://ui.echohealthclinic.com/echo.aspx. That will take you to the Echo sign-in page, as is what is shown on your screen. If you have a username and password, you can enter it to follow along or to choose a claim that you're looking at. And you can, if you do not have access, call Echo at 1-888-834-3511. They will walk you through the steps to gain access into their system. So now let's take a look at the claim that we were looking at in CareWeb. First of all, this is the page that you will come to when you sign in at the top. It will just have your it will have the search type, and it always defaults to document ID and then search criteria. I did do a snip of the drop-down menu from the search type. There is document ID, certificate number, claim number, echo draft number, payer check number, the provider ID and e-check date range, provider ID and NPI, as well as a certificate number and EOB prepared date range, or you can also view your 1099s come tax time. In the beginning, you're probably going to use the claim number option more than other options until you start getting those payments. And then you might look by the Echo draft number or the check number. It's all your preference and what works for you. Let's take a look at the claim that we actually saw. As you can see from this information, there is masked details. In the search criteria is the full claim number, but I did mask the last digits of the claim number, which are also masked in the lower option under the word produced. To give you information, you will see from the Echo system the claim number, which will match your claim that you are looking at, the insured's name, the patient's name, because they can be different, the member's ID number, and the group ID through Echo. Then we will have the provider's name as well as the payee name in this section right here. If there had been an amount paid, there would be an amount paid here. For this claim, it applied to the member's deductible. Therefore, nothing was actually issued to the provider except a remittance advice so that they knew how much to charge the member towards their deductible. All of these options that are in light blue are hyperlinks, and you can click on those hyperlinks. Please click on the details hyperlink now. As you can see on this page, in addition to the line that we were looking at momentarily, the payment details have now shown. In this case, it is showing that it was a non-payment. Again, it applied to the deductible. It shows the date of the actual remittance and then the payee's name. What you can do is click on the EPP, which is electronic payer payment, and that information will show you additional details. One moment, and we will transfer to the EPP. The top portion of this page is what an EPP looks like. It's just like an explanation of payment. It would give you the claim number, the check number, the member ID, the subscriber name, your patient account number, and all of the details of a remittance. From that information, I was able to look up this claim number and pull that information to find out that this was actually on a paper check that was issued through MPX. I'm looking at the payment details. It was issued from MPX on 4/8 of 26. If I keep going to the right, I will see that that check has cleared, and it cleared on 4/28 of 26. There is information here that says draft. So if I click on that draft, and here are the details of the information of that cleared check, if you will. The top portion is the draft status that comes directly through the electronic payment clearinghouse, giving us the information of who the payee was, the date that it was issued, and the date that it cleared. The second two images are the cleared check directly from the bank, giving us the information of the payment, the draft number, who it was paid to, and then the bottom half is the back of the check, which would be the information of the bank it ran through, etc. Thank you very much. This concludes the claims portion and technically eligibility portion of the provider portal. I want to thank you for taking the time to review the introduction to Provider Portal. I hope the information is useful and helpful. Please take some time to become familiar with our portal. All the information you need is right at the tip of your fingers. You only have to look. If you have any questions, please feel free to call Provider Connection at 877-321-0018 or locally at 918-594-5207. If there are any additional topics that you feel would be useful to add or another video created, please email us at training@ccok.com. The next video training will be centered on authorizations, understanding how to interpret what is shown in the provider portal, and how to use that information to your advantage. Also, we will cover how to enter authorizations. Looking forward to seeing you and hearing from you. Have a wonderful day.